Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm back. Welcome back to How About That Crypto. You can check us out on howaboutthatcrypto.com. Today, we're going to talk about what the heck is going on with Bitcoin. I'm sure, like, I had all these other things I wanted to talk to you about, all these exciting stuff that's happening in crypto and blockchain and Web3, but I think it's important to talk about the fact that Bitcoin just collapsed like 10% or more than so. So what happened? So I'm sure like anybody who's watching crypto is probably thinking like, what the heck is going on? Well, I did a bit of a dive last night and early this morning. Yes, it is 6:45. I was up early getting this research done for you guys. So first and foremost, something that is important. Okay, well, this is not financial advice. It's for entertainment purposes only. I have to say that, and just in case someone tries to blame me for anything. Okay, so technical analysis. I follow someone named Benjamin Cohen. You can see the link. All these links and all my supporting documents that I'm using for all of this stuff is going to be on the YouTube channel. So you can follow the link tree and find the playlist and find the video, and you can find those links there. Okay, so technical analysis says that price support was when back in the spring the price collapsed down to about $28,000 to $30,000, creating like a floor around 30 grand, and it went back up, and then it dropped again, and it dropped down to about 40, 41, something like that, and so today, last time I checked, it's at 42. So the way the technical analysts explain it, there are floors of each drop, and each floor creates a price support. And historically, the floors haven't been broken over time. The lowest prices have been climbing over time. So assuming that continues to hold true, then we should have support right around 40 to 41,000. Because of volatility, it could move a little bit in that range. If it doesn't hold at that range, the likelihood of a drop down to 27 to 31,000 is possible. So any of you thinking about making any decisions, you should consider that information. And I'll include a link to a video. He just did it. He woke up at I think it was like at 1 a.m. in the morning. He went in and he just does a really good job explaining it if you want to dive in deeper. But basically, those are the numbers you watch for: 41, and then if it breaks 41, it might hit 31 to 28. If there's a little fluctuation around each one of those numbers. My personal opinion is I don't imagine it'll go there, but if it does, I will buy more at $30,000. That sounds incredible. Okay, so. Well, that's just a technical analysis. So, Robert, what happened? Okay, so I got a handful of things that have been happening right now. One, there's Kazakhstan, which is not a large country, but there's unrest over fuel prices, and they raised the prices, even though their number one export is what they're raising prices on, basically. So the people are like, no, I don't think so. So they start protesting and organizing, and guess what people use to organize protests? The internet. And guess what they did? Because they want to shut down their people's ability to protest, so they shut down the internet. Sounds familiar? It happened in the Arab Spring. It happened, other parts of the world that people don't like people to protest. So they shut down the internet. So why do I care about the internet getting shut down when it comes to Bitcoin, Robert? Well, turns out there's a 13.5% hash rate drop due to Kazakhstan miners going offline. So 13.5%, that sounds like an interesting number. Generally the correlation between hash rates and price movement, there's a correlation between hash rate. Hash rate just means the ability to process transactions, like how fast and how much processing and transaction we have. So by the drop in hash rate correlating with a drop in Bitcoin price, that'd be crazy if that was the only reason why. I can't believe that's the only reason why, so I started digging deeper. But that's definitely why. 13.5% drop of the hash rate. Okay, next thing is Evergrande. If you do not know about Evergrande, then you need to do some research and check this out. This is being talked about as China's Lehman moment. If you were alive, 2022? In 2008, You probably heard of Lehman Brothers. It collapsed during the financial crisis. Evergrande is in debt $300 billion and they cannot pay their bills. They really arguably haven't been able to pay their bills for a long time. So they've been like robbing Peter to pay Paul. Like they go, hey, employees. They like make the employees give them their money and then tell the employees to get the families to give them their money. And then everyone's just buy these houses that we're not delivering. And it's just turned into a massive mess. They've already considered them being in default. The Chinese government is involved, but they're not putting their hands super into it yet, like we did in the U.S. We really got like down and dirty, and we unwound Lehman Brothers, and so that's not happening. So Evergrande is still in default, and that okay. So, but like, and if you do know about it, like Robert, that's been going on for a while. Okay, it's been going on for a while, but protesters are getting louder. They're getting jailed regularly. They're starting to speak out. And I mean, if anybody knows anything about China, like that is going to cause some issues in leadership. It's going to cause some issues to investors. It's going to cause issues. Social unrest is just in general. It's just it's not good for markets in general. So social unrest, a Lehman moment, is creating fear, uncertainty, and doubt. When we call that FUD, I'm gonna have to include that in one of the terminology videos. But FUD. Fear, uncertainty, doubt. FUD is something that you should never sleep on because fear, uncertainty, doubt moves markets so much. However, usually that's a temporary move. So people kind of get over their fear, uncertainty, and doubt. So let's just keep moving forward. Okay, I got another thing that is just announced. Congress is preparing an oversight committee on Bitcoin mining's environmental impact. Now, I talked a little bit about Bitcoin mining and the environment yesterday. I figured like I might as well just take some more time today and talk about that. I had some exciting things to talk to you about, but I feel like we got to keep it real here, and this is really what's happening. And I guess that's my job, right? So, okay, so Congress writes, this environmental group writes a letter, and I'll have all these links, and you can even like, I'll try to figure out how to get the link to the letter. You can read the letter yourself, and you can see. So the people who wrote the letter to Congress, they did their homework. They definitely understand Bitcoin, but it's not crypto in general. So don't say, see, told you crypto. So let's kind of stick to the facts. The facts are that the environmental group wrote a letter to Congress saying, look, you're thinking about protecting investors. I want you to think about the environment too. Fair as you know what. So Bitcoin mining's environmental impact, they talk about proof of work specifically, not crypto in general, specifically proof of work. I will be doing a video on proof of work, so watch out for that. But just to give you a quick introduction, proof of work requires the most high computational power to solve complex mathematical problems and puzzles so that they can win the bid to like basically get the coins and do the transactions. So why do they do this? There's a whole theory behind it which basically makes it more secure. It's okay, so in order for it to be secure as Bitcoin is, which is the most secure than any other one because of the proof of work mechanism, and all other crypto are going to proof of stake or less energy consumption, which is like an exponential difference from proof of work Bitcoin to the others. And Ethereum is cited in this letter, and it says we don't know if this is ever going to happen, which is, it might not happen, I guess. That's in theory. But basically the entire crypto industry is waiting for Ethereum to upgrade its protocols, mainly because it's slow and expensive. No one wants to, people are starting to not use it. So people are leaving Ethereum for their competitors, which are already low cost, low energy, fast transaction speeds, etc. So just like natural market factors are forcing this move. However, not for Bitcoin. And that's what this letter is about. Okay. So they cite proof of work, because of the energy consumption, and they're complaining about hardware waste, like precious metals. According to their numbers, only 17% of hardware is able to get recycled. Like those metals that are in the hardware getting recycled, and those metals are used in semiconductors, and we're using semiconductors. That's also part of it. So the crypto industry is soaking up resources that are being used for other industries, basically. And and they want to lower the emissions. That's like one of the big things. Is like, so they're like saying, hey, look, if these people are going to be doing all this, then we need to like at least regulate their emissions. So like there's a big argument about how much energy Bitcoin and crypto takes. However, if you focus more on like the type of energy it consumes and how much green energy it's able to bring online and soak up wasted green energy, then you gotta have to take that in consideration. You can't just say it's consuming energy and it's bad. Then what other industries are consuming energy that we could do without? Do you think the mining of gold is really that important to mankind? Humankind, sorry. Do you think humans are really benefiting by the mining operations of super dirty industries like gold mining? Like, there's so much gold sitting in banks. Why don't you just use that to make your jewelry? It's not like that stuff's being used. I think it's like 3% of like industrial application use. 40% of gold use is. Anyway, I digress. I'm not going to try to convince you. The point is, Congress is preparing an oversight committee, which they should. I'm not against that. They should definitely prepare. They should definitely look into it. They should definitely consider it. They should definitely consider everything. And they should figure out real, like, reasonable regulation that someone who is doing this stuff is, if you're being a pollutant, we're already past that part where no one wants to live in a world where there's dirty industry. So let's clean it up. I'm totally game for that. So anyway, all right, so that's what's happened. I'm a real quick recap. Why did Bitcoin plunge? So there was a social unrest in Kazakhstan, which caused the internet to go down, which dropped 13.5% hash rate, which there's a direct correlation between that and the price. So 13.5% and the ability to process these transactions and the speed of it resulted in a similar drop. So that could be a coincidence, or it could be exactly the reason why. In addition to that, Evergrande is still going through default, and their protesters are trying to get jailed. Reuters just reported that like it's really getting bad over there, and then Congress is preparing an oversight committee on Bitcoin mining environmental impact, and that's as a result to a letter to Congress from environmental groups. They're citing proof of work to be the challenge. They want Congress to watch their emissions. Are they going to fire up old coal power plants, or are they bootstrapping wind energy plants? If an old coal power plant is getting fired back up, that might be good for that local economy, but that's not good for the overall portfolio of America. So they want Congress to look at that. And then all the machines, when they get retired, they're creating a lot of waste, and only 17% average across the planet is that type of waste is being recycled and be able to get the metals out of it. So I'm sure there's going to be some sort of recycling mandate, and I'm sure there's going to be some sort of like emissions cap, at least in the U.S., which I think is totally reasonable. So let's see how that goes, and I'm gonna cut it off there. So, all right, have a good one. Hodl on. Please like, subscribe, follow. You can check out the link in the link tree to go to the YouTube channel to get all the links. I'll be posting those in a few hours. I gotta go to the doctor's. That's why I'm up so early. So, all right, hodl on.